a derived outcome we say is out. So we have different type of clustering. Okay, so normally whenever we say clustering, okay, we can form in different ways. Either we can form like a partitional way or hierarchical way. So what exactly it means partitional clustering? See, if I do clustering, okay, assume I have a lot of data objects like this. If I group this objects into separate cluster, if I group this object into separate clusters like this, okay, like this, and these clusters are not nested at all, not overlapping with each other. See, so whatever the item present in this cluster, it, like that, whatever object present in this cluster, it is not at all present. It means that, so if I do union operation also, so it is always nil. Sorry, if I sorry, yeah. See, if I do intersection operation, it is always nil. Okay, so it means no two item present in both the clusters. Each object belongs to a separate clusters. That's why a division data objects into non-overlapping subsets, such that each object is exactly one subset. Okay, then we say that it is a partitional clustering. So normally most usable algorithm with respect to partitional clustering is k-means algorithm. We'll learn in future class. Okay. So next thing is hierarchical. It means here it is non-overlapping. It's tree-like structure. Tree-like. See, we have something like root node. Okay. That root node may be divided into child node may be divided into sub-child node to this child node or subcategories. Again, the category again we can divide it into subcategory. If you represent the clustering in terms of hierarchical tree, then we say it's a hierarchical clustering. Okay, so if you do some intersection, of course this intersection, this one always this node. Okay, sorry, this union, this if you do union operation, this one and this union always leads to the root node of this child node. Is it right? So whenever say hierarchical clusters, if you union of these two subclusters, it always gives you the parent cluster. Okay, if you union these two parent cluster, it always gives to a root cluster, like that. So if it is nothing but it is nested now, it is means overlap. So these type of hierarchical clustering, these type of things, we call it as an hierarchical clustering. So this is partitional. I already told that no object belongs to two different cluster here. So if I say I can form all this as a single cluster, or I can form multiple this, but I already told that this object is not belongs to another cluster. So each cluster belongs to only one subset. That is what we say it's a partitional clustering. So the same thing we have here. So hierarchical, as we know that if you do union, we will have a P4. If you do union sub P4 with respect to P1, we will have a root node, like that. See, so this is what hierarchical structure. If you represent your clustering in a tree-like structure, then we say it's a hierarchical clustering. Next thing is exclusive versus non-exclusive. That is, suppose if you have data objects like that, okay, and each belongs to separate cluster, each point belongs to separate cluster, that is, no cluster consists of more than one object, then you can say that is an exclusive cluster. Okay, if it is a non-exclusive cluster, clustering points may be belong to multiple clusters, or can represent multiple classes or border points or something like that. Okay. So there is one more type called fuzzy versus non-fuzzy. Fuzzy means we know that something like that yeah, if any cluster points that belongs to every cluster with weight between 0 and 1, then we say it's a fuzzy clusters. I can give you an example. Sometimes, so whenever we are going to represent young, middle, and old, okay, this always leads to ambiguous. Is it right? Always leads to ambiguous. So sometime, some person who is 25 easily tell that I am young. Sometimes some person 35 he also tells that I am young. Sometimes the person 65, 60 he can tell that I am middle. Okay. Sometimes the person 55 he also tells middle. Sometimes 80 he can tell old. But it is always leads to that 60 may be old. Somebody thinks that 35 is maybe middle or something like that. But the person who is 35 years always feels that he is young. We cannot tell that that is false. Is it right? If he feels that, we cannot tell that that is false because one is 100 years. Okay. So, but nowadays it may be 60 years, but we cannot lead with that thing. Is it right? So that's how the only thing we can solve these type of things is using fuzzy logic. Is it right? So we can represent. Okay, it may be either belongs to this group. Okay, if I say this group, yes, this is fine. If I the middle group, this is fine. It may not be belongs to whole. Okay, we will understand. So always the point belongs to a cluster with a weight either 0 or 1. Yes, if I say I belongs to young, yes, 1. Okay. If I say I belongs to middle, young is 0. Means a point maybe belongs to every cluster with some weight between 0 and 1. So it means if I sum it, weights always leads to 1. Okay. Like this. This is not actually in syllabus. Give an example, that's all. Okay. So whenever we have a situation like ambiguous, something like this, so of course, the way we can solve that is using fuzzy logic. Okay. Next is partial versus complete. So see, this is very important. Okay. If I say complete clustering, then each and every element of each and every data objects in our data sets must be belongs to any one of the cluster. So then only complete clustering. A partial clustering means some of them may belongs to cluster and some of them may not be belongs to cluster. Okay, they don't have any cluster at all. Then we say it's a uh, partial clustering. So how it is possible? Sometimes when we have a data sets, there may be chances that some noise or outliers may be present in our data sets. So if you analyze perfectly, we may come to some conclusion that these points may not be belongs to any one of the group. Okay, they don't have any similarity between any objects that present in this either in different types of clusters. So it means that it may be something it entered as a noise into your data sets or outliers into data sets. Something like if I say, if you are reading newspaper to November, we don't know nothing about coronavirus. Is it right? No, no. If somebody have written corona or something like newspaper before November, it means that a daily news reader, he may think that okay, this is not at all interesting because it may be something entered simple. It is not the frequent thing that is going to be entered in the newspaper. Is it right? So that's why something it's an outlier just entered there. But now we cannot say that because corona now everywhere. Okay, so now it is an inter now. But if you speak the same corona before now things, it is not at all interesting thing if it is present in a newspaper. In newspaper we always see some columns which are familiar with us. Okay, so politics or something like that, it is daily going to be happen. So these news common to us, so we know this belongs to politics, this belongs to other thing, this belongs to even medical things are there. If somebody simply if you propose the corona in the newspaper, we don't know where we belongs to, in which cluster it belongs to, we cannot identify directly that. So because it is a infrequent thing that enter into the newspapers. Okay, so like that. So these type of things we say it's a partial clustering. And I already told that each and every object belongs to either any one of the cluster, then we said that complete clustering. Okay, so next thing is heterogeneous versus homogeneous clustering. So this mainly depends on different sizes, different shapes, and densities. If I have all cluster groups of same size and same shape and density, then we say it's a homogeneous. Otherwise, it's a heterogeneous cluster. Okay. Anybody have any doubt with respect to until now? Please poll it fast. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me a question by switch on your microphone. Do it first. Still, so many have to poll. Okay, that will be considered as a uh, count in this session. Okay, a lot of have said that they have doubt. Like, yes, you can ask me question. Okay, if you have any doubt, I can clear you. So a lot of people have answered yes here. You can ask me question now. If your microphone is not correct, you can type your question in the public chat itself. I'll answer. If you are not connected with, you can type your question here in public chat. So any doubts? Okay.